Hey, this is Meredith's husband. I've got some SEO advice for you, but I'm going to keep it really simple so that you can understand it, so it makes sense, and most importantly, so you can actually use it. Well, I want to talk about something that you mentioned last week.
Oh.
You came home from one of your online courses and said something that someone else had said.
I came home after an online course?
Well, you got up from your desk and
My
told me
office.
about it. Yes. And somebody said something about AI. I don't remember what it was. I was kind of surprised to hear it, but I guess there are still lots of misconceptions out there about AI.
About AI?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we've talked about it a little bit, but I guess there are still people left on the planet who haven't listened.
Believe it
to this.
or not, most people, when they have questions about AI, they don't do anything about them. You research them.
So we're gonna do an episode. I'm gonna talk about what I think, or what has been reported as common misconceptions about AI.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to ask you if you think they are common based on what you're hearing in your online groups.
Yes.
And I'll either debunk or confirm them.
I enter the ring.
You can then pass this episode around.
Oh, I can.
When you hear
people
saying things about AI.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so I'm just going to go through the list.
Sounds good.
Number one, AI is autonomous. So people think that AI can operate like a human being, like it's free, it can go do anything, it can get anywhere, it can get any information. It operates independently from people, basically.
Like it can go and do projects on its own without any human prompts?
Like it can go get information from anywhere. You ask it a question, it comes back with the right answer. You don't know when to get it. It found the information.
I think that's not true because it gets most of it from Google.
Well, that's what I have told you. But my question is, do you think, in your experience, do other people just in general kind of think this is true?
Yeah, yeah. Because somebody said, oh, I wrote something on Facebook and now my AI had it with my reviews or something like that.
Okay. So yes, you are correct. It gets, right now, most of its information from Google.
Right.
Not all, and that will probably continue to expand, but AI has to have a set of data that it looks to. And when it gives you a response, it might seem like really good advice, but it's basically just a conglomeration of other stuff that's out there that it found online.
Right. And I know when I was looking for the history of somebody's employment, that the first information that ChatGPT gave was what they had put on LinkedIn.
Sure.
And I said, no, actually, that's false. Can you give some further information? And then she said, oh, I can look into these, would you like? And I said, yeah.
So what it probably did, and this might not be exactly right, but it probably went to Google, did a search, found the first link about that person's work history that was on LinkedIn.
Yeah.
Found that, and you said no, and then it dug deeper into Google and found other results. That's probably what happened. Yeah. Now, it could also, AI engines don't have to use Google. They could use something else.
Bing.
Like they could use Bing. They could use LinkedIn. Like there could be an AI engine that's just for LinkedIn, or they could use something like Wikipedia, but it's got to use an existing set of information.
Could they go through the meta channels? Things we post on Facebook, in private groups?
No, not in private. It would need if you need to enter a password as a user to get to something, it means AI is not going to have information. It's not going to have not going to have those credentials. It can't get to that information.
Facebook, Instagram.
Unless the pages are public. If the pages on Facebook are public, meaning you can just open a browser and go to that page without logging in, then fair game, yes.
Interesting. Okay. That helps.
Number two, AI understands things like humans. It's artificial intelligence. Do you think people feel that way?
Yes.
Yes, people.
Yeah.
I think that's probably people do. Okay, so AI doesn't understand things the way that you and I think of understanding things.
Probably.
It predicts things. It predicts words. It predicts outcomes based on training, how the AI model was trained and based on what information is in their data set.
And I figure that will increase at a
It will get better and
galactic
better. Yes, they will get better and better. But just by definition, no, it does not understand things. It just predicts things using existing information.
Yeah, that's hard for my brain too.
So it is hard. I know
Because
it's
it'll
very
say
tricky.
something that's, oh, I understand how you're feeling because blah, blah.
Yes. Yeah, it does. It has a very nice, it fakes it really well.
It really does.
But if you actually go, and I did this, you can actually go to ChatGPT and ask it like, hey, how do you learn things? How do you understand? How do you do this? It will start to explain it to you. And I got to say, it doesn't help much. It's still really confusing.
Okay.
So it started like one of the things that it told me, one of the first things, which just confused me more than anything, was when it's, putting together a sentence, it's really just according to probability deciding on the next word to put in that sentence. And I was like, what?
Quadrillionth of a second.
So I said in response to ChatGPT, you mean so you're kind of giving me like the average of all the information that's out there. And it said like, yeah, kind of, sort of. Like, I mean, that is a vast oversimplification, but yeah.
Kind of, sort of.
Okay. Number 3, AI is always correct. Whatever it says, that's correct. Right. Okay. So do you think that other people think that? Is that a common misconception, do you think?
I don't know. I don't know. I think people are still kind of fearful of its power.
Right. Okay. Well, I don't think people should be fearful of the AI that you and I are using right now. It's the AI that's going to be developed in the future.
Yeah. It's all kind of, it's like an octopus. It's all part. Many legs, many little suction cups, each with their own brain, but all part of the same octopus.
Okay.
Which you should never eat.
Exactly.
Yay. We love them.
So, yes, AI can produce incorrect information and do it confidently.
Yes. They say that at the bottom.
Yeah, true. But, I've done this. I went to Google AI mode and asked about, some stuff about SEO, and it gave me flat out information that was wrong. Like I know it was wrong. And I thought it was ironic because it seemed to be coming straight from Google,
Right.
But it's just based on other blogs out there saying X, Y, Z. So you're only, on the whole, the internet is probably more or less accurate. Hopefully more accurate than inaccurate, but there's a lot of inaccuracies out there.
Yeah, there's a lot. See, because I thought that if I asked a question to AI, it would be able to cut through all the reviews, the paid reviews.
Right. Yeah, no, not really. Okay. That was one of the really big problems when Google rolled out one of its first versions. Like AI, can't really tell the difference between a website like The Onion and the Wall Street Journal. And so it started coming up with, I think the example was recipes for a pizza that included things like glue and sparkles. Like, yeah, no, I think you misunderstood something there.
Oh, that's funny.
Okay, so what are we on? Number 4.
Yeah.
So AI is completely objective. How about that? Not necessarily accurate, but it is objective. This one's
It's a little vague because I'm trying to figure out what objective you mean.
Well, it doesn't. Okay, so something can happen in the news, right?
Yeah.
Fox is going to report it one way and the New York Times is going to report the same thing an entirely different way. Is AI going to choose a completely objective, or is it going to have let's call it an opinion one way or the other?
Oh, I would think it would not have an opinion.
Well, you're correct. It does not have an opinion. But again, it's going to follow the bias that is out there. If the internet that it's using, the set of it, the data set, if it's 80% biased in one direction and 20% in the other direction, the responses that you're going to get are going to be 80% biased in one and 20%.
Now,
it's not going to realize that there's some sort of middle ground and try to calculate that.
It doesn't recognize performance from fact.
I guess so, yes. Another one, number 5.
Yeah.
AI can create new things, truly original things. Right.
No.
It cannot. And no. Do you think that's a common belief, or do you think a lot of people still think, oh, it can create new stuff? Sure.
I don't think so, because a lot of the people that I interact with are artists.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of, let's say, energy around that.
Yes. Yeah, I understand. Yeah, absolutely. It cannot be truly original. Anything it comes back with is going to be somehow remixed, learned information. or maybe combined. It might seem new, but
It's not.
by definition cannot be truly original.
Yeah, it's often really cheesy sometimes.
Yeah. And that's getting better. That's something that I think is improving. But true creativity, originality, empathy. Okay. Number 6, somewhat related, AI can think ethically or morally. Like it knows what's ethically right.
I would say
and wrong.
no to that.
And what do you think other people would say?
I don't know.
That's right. That's correct. It does not have any values.
Right.
This to me is kind of the scary part. But
yeah, that's also that goes on the rack.
any ethical or moral guidelines that it does seem to have were basically put there by the team that developed it.
Okay. And that also then can that be?
Yeah, and that's why that's why it's scary to me.
Yeah,
okay. So let's get off of this one.
Yeah, let's move on to something a little more.
I've got 2 more.
Good.
These are my favorites.
Good.
Number 7.
Yes.
AI is going to replace all jobs.
Not all jobs. A lot of jobs. Yes.
Yeah, a lot of jobs.
A lot of jobs.
It will. I hear this one a lot. There's a lot of talk about needing to use a universal basic income because there's going to be no jobs left because AI is doing everything.
Yeah,
so we're not going to have jobs. We're all just going to get money. I don't think so. I think about it like, this sort of thing has happened many times in history.
Yeah.
Think about the Industrial Revolution.
Yeah.
From what I understand, before the Industrial Revolution, like 75-80% of people worked in the farming industry.
Whoa.
Yeah. Now, those jobs vastly disappeared. Now, if you had asked those people beforehand, hey, what's going to happen to your job? Yeah, it's going to be gone. Well, then what are you going to do? They wouldn't be like, oh, I guess I'm going to do nothing. Guess what? New jobs were invented. Right. You got new stuff to do.
Always pivoting. At a little more rapid race, or
yes.
At a little more rapid pace now.
Yeah, now, good point. For example, like the kids today. Even kids in college, whatever their career is going to be, it probably doesn't exist yet. Right. Just like me, like that's true for me. Like if you asked me in college, what are you going to do? There was no such thing as SEO. But same thing. So something I wonder is like, what are kids learning today?
To be
in
an
school?
influencer.
So that I do expect, and that's probably going to be rocky. I mean, that's going to be a bumpy ride.
And writing. People who are writers,
correct.
Even photographers are getting hit.
Some photographers, what I see happening in photography, I don't think AI is going to replace things like what you do. You photograph children.
Right.
Right. If you're, say, a wedding photographer, like AI is not going to be able to create photos of your wedding. Like things that actually happened.
Right. But
it's not like an actual snapshot of something that actually happened.
This is true.
Just like it could recreate a picture of your kid, sure.
Yeah.
Is it going to be an actual picture of your kid? No, it can't.
Right.
It
but
can't
here's
do that.
my question. Will it matter?
Well, I would think as a parent it would.
I would think so.
And I would think as a married person, I'm not a parent, so I don't know. Yeah. But I would think
you're not?
No. As a married person, I don't want to look at fake images from my wedding. So yes, there is an insane amount of photos being produced by AI.
Yeah.
But to me anyway, they're not the type of photos that people are hiring and paying photographers to take.
That's what the hope is.
Yes.
But people can take a picture from that you just send them off your phone and create a headshot with it, with any background and any setting.
Headshot photographers would probably be the first ones.
Yeah, that's what I'm afraid of.
Maybe. We'll see.
Back to good things.
Number 8. This is my favorite. AI is a black box that nobody understands. And I'll tell you why I think that this misconception exists. It's because a lot of times the people who created AI, they'll say things like, we don't really fully understand how it works. And so that's a sort of frightening statement.
Yeah, I don't think anybody thinks it's a black box somewhere.
Well, not technically. I mean a black box like you don't know what's happening inside.
That's very different. Box. I thought you meant like a physical metal black box in the desert somewhere.
No, that's not it. I don't think.
Okay, ask it again.
AI is a black box that nobody understands. So
No.
questions go into the black box, answers come out, nobody has any idea how it happens.
I don't think it's nobody has any idea. I don't think that's true. Is it?
No, but like I said, the people who created it, they don't even fully understand it.
Really?
Like they
It's
don't know
Frankenstein.
exactly. It's a big shift from the way programming has always been. Programming has always been a very specific, you know exactly how it works.
Code.
You write lines of code. AI is a bit different.
Okay.
And this is, I think, probably the most interesting thing about AI right now is we don't really know where it's going. Because imagine you've written AI. Okay, you write, say ChatGPT-1, for example.
Yeah.
And as someone who developed it, you have a pretty good understanding of how it works. Right. Okay. So you also use ChatGPT-1 to help you develop ChatGPT-2.
Correct.
Okay. So ChatGPT-2, you don't really have
see.
as much understanding. And then you use ChatGPT-2 to help you develop ChatGPT-3.
Right.
And then 4, and then 5, and then 6. At some point, you have literally no clue what's happening.
Yeah. It's kind of like when you do a play and a moment kind of happens, and then you redo that moment, and then as an actor, it becomes stale. So you try and make it fresh. And then it's so far from the actual point that you have to cut it because it's a little bit indulgent and selfish.
You would have to cut that part out.
Not that I would ever do that.
So that, by the way, is my favorite because that's the big question mark. Like we don't, in 5 years, 10 years, we don't even know how long it's going to be. But AI is going to create the next AI. And then we're not going to have any idea how it works.
Whoa, that's pretty cray-cray.
It's pretty creepy.
Or, yeah.
It's pretty, let's not call it creepy.
Let's not call it creepy. It's pretty.
It's creepy. Well, it's creepy, just creepy. Okay. But what I think you can take away from all this stuff as a website owner is when you go to ChatGPT or Google AI Mode or Perplexity or whatever you're going to use to help you to create your blog, let's say, for example, it's a great tool to brainstorm and can give you ideas, but just know that, things can be incorrect. You might want to double check stuff.
Where would you double check it?
Well, you can go online and just check or ask it to check more sources.
Right.
Sometimes I've asked ChatGPT for something and it gives me a result and it didn't really seem right. And so I asked, is this right or something? And it was like, oh, good catch. No.
I get a lot of good catches.
Yeah. So just know that. Don't plug something in and think you're going to get the ultimate correct, unbiased result all the time.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's good to know.
And then what else should people take away from this?
I think people should also take away the fact that, for example, when digital photography came, everyone thought that was going to be the end of film.
Right.
It wasn't. People still do film. It's kind of coming back as a niche. But the world that we're living in right now, things are going so fast and there's so much information.
Very fast. And I would say, I think for probably all of us, your job might be at risk.
Yeah.
But how can you take that and translate it into something that only a person can do? There's always going to be ways to do that.
Hair cutters.
Yeah, hairstylists.
Chefs.
Like elevator repairman.
Yeah.
Like
repair
person.
Yeah.
One of my colleagues, I was just talking to him the other day, and his son decided not to go to college. He's going to go into HVAC repair. And I'm like, actually, that's kind of brilliant.
Wait, what kind of repair?
HVAC is like your AC. It's like your heating and cooling for a building.
Go. Yep. Seriously.
And I was like, yeah, the trades, like that's something right there.
It would be very interesting if blue collar all of a sudden became white collar and things changed.
I don't rule that out.
That would be kind of wonderful.
So something you can do, if you're having a conversation with anyone and they seem to suggest any of these things, you think they believe any of these things, do them a favor and forward them this episode.
There you go. Hey, thank you so much for listening. We really hope that you find this helpful and useful. And if you do, what you could do for us as a thanks would be to, drumroll please, leave a review. Yes, everybody says it, I know, but it really does make a difference. Take 3 seconds, leave as many stars, say something really nice about what you like about the podcast and maybe why other people would like it. It would mean the world to us, especially my husband. That better? All right, I'm going to try one where I'm not going to be charming.